Jeff, they said the male mosquitoes can't get you, right?
They cannot.
Because these are fatties out here. That last one I smacked in my hand had a pair of nuts on them like a toddler, man. There we go. Yeah. Molly. Yeah.
There's a nice fish.
Oh, what is that?
That's big.
No, this man is stuck.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yes!
I told you that.
Yes!
What is it?
Oh, I got my first northern!
No way.
My first northern! Yeah! What's up, guys? Nick the Informative Fisherman here. And check this out. I'm out here in Wisconsin. I gotta say it right so my wife doesn't correct me when she's watching this. My first northern pike on the old Bill Lewis rattle trap. Now we're out here with Ken Mack. Now Ken Mack's the inventor of the rocket bobber, okay? And Ken's down here, and you're probably wondering why Ken can't even turn around or stand up. Well, we were planning to come out here to Wisconsin and do a variety of lures, do a variety of Bill Lewis stuff, and show off the rocket bobber. But Ken fell through a roof, shattered his pelvis and everything else, so they're rebuilding him like Lee Majors over here. But we're gonna break down the rocket bobber, do some Bill Lewis stuff. We're gonna pick Ken's brain. We're also out here with his buddy Cal. Cal's driving the boat, putting us up. Super awesome people, but we're gonna break it down, guys. That is my first pike ever, and I'm stoked. It's not a monster, but I'm absolutely stoked.
All right, hold on a second. We're gonna pause this right here. We're gonna rewind, okay? So this wasn't the first day that we actually got there. The plan was to come out to Wisconsin and fish with Ken the whole time, but after shattering his pelvis falling through that roof, Ken was like, okay, come out here. You could still stay with my wife, Pam, and I. Super great people. His wife's lovely lady, super friendly and helpful, telling us where to go around town, making us any food we need. But their friends, Cal and Margaret, which live like a block over on the other side of the lake from them, said, oh, you can just stay with us and we'll get you around town too. So nothing but hospitality out of the people over there, guys. But that first night we showed up, we got there, it was late. Ken's buddy, Tony, said, hey, do you want to go out and try to catch your first ever walleye? So I was like, yeah, I'm all for that. I don't care what bites, man, because in Wisconsin, there's a lot of options for me to catch species that I've never caught before. So the plan was to go out there. The bite was a little bit tough, but let's see what happens.
We made it out to Wisconsin. I always say it wrong. I always say like perfect. Wisconsin, and my wife, no, it's because my wife's been coaching me. I'm out here with Tony. What's your last name, Tony?
Spatafor.
Spatafor. So now Tony is buddies with Ken, the rocket bobber inventor for Bill Lewis Outdoors, who I am part of. So we're out here on behalf of Bill Lewis Outdoors. This is why you see Tony with a rattle trap over here in his hand. And this is like pike country, musky country, so he's got a leader on right here. We're gonna be doing some unique stuff. Some things I've done a million times and other things I've never done a single time in my whole life. We're always like down south or far east, Florida or in California, so we don't have walleye, we don't have pike, we don't have muskie, and there's probably other things swimming around here we don't have too, man. But we're gonna go out there and try to catch some fish and get it started. I'm gonna introduce you to a few guys along the way, but let's go have some fun, Tony.
Looking forward to it. Should be a great night.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. That's a little northern with a wig.
Salad bar northern.
This is a northern from the 70s.
Here, let's block out that.
Look at how tiny. That's embarrassing, boys.
Is he in there?
But he's under here.
The first 25-pound northern pike of the evening.
Look at that monster.
So you know, it's cool though, Tony. I've never actually seen one of those up close and personal aside from a fish tank.
I don't know if you can really call that a pike, but
kind of like a pike, but smaller.
Yes. Okay, this is not one of the bigger one I've caught, guys.
Yeah. So you said you brought You brought some crackers on board for that.
Yeah, some
Tony?
crackers.
Okay.
This will probably fill maybe 1.5 crackers.
Okay, not bad.
Not quite the dinner.
So it's like a solid dippable fish. You know, guys, come all the way from Northern California to Wisconsin. Stick a little largemouth bass. Here it is. I officially lost my walleye virginity on that original Bill Lewis 1/4 ounce chrome and blue. I'll take her. Not a monster, but I'll take it.
Okay, so let's jump back over to day 2. So we took out Cal's pontoon boat. The basis was here is we were gonna pull up to the dock and help Ken on the walker get into the pontoon boat. We figured it was gonna be the most comfortable for him. And so headed back to a panfish area, Ken goes, hey, I know a spot that's got a lot of small pike on it if you want to take a shot at catching one on a rattle trap. They love to eat those things. So I was like, absolutely, man. So we stopped by and sure enough, converted on my first couple pike ever. Crazy cool. And then we were off to go to our panfish spot.
Yee-hee.
Oh, yeah.
A little better, a little better.
A little better.
I got my second pike on the Bill Lewis rattle trap. A little bit better. I know these are baby pikes, so Ken's laughing at me over here that I'm excited over these, but I've never had the opportunity to catch these in my whole entire life, guys, and now I do. He's got a nice wound on his side. Osprey attack when he was a baby or something.
No, typically that's probably a muskie attack.
Oh, that's the big teeth.
That's a big teeth attack.
If I catch a muskie, I might pee my pants a little bit, but I'll be pretty thrilled about it. Woohoo!
Fish on. Feels like a smallie.
What you got, Ken?
Thinking a smallie, I'm not sure.
I'll come over there and
Trapping smallies. What do we got here?
just need that.
Oh, he's got
I'll net him. Yeah.
I'm thinking he's got a set of horns. I don't know. Look at this.
Unicorn?
I don't know. Oh, for crying out loud! This is bad news when you can't get up and hop around.
You've
There you go,
You've been at home in a bed, forced to watch TV all this time and not fish. You were landing this one. Bring her to me!
Come on,
yeah!
Awesome.
Now,
cool, dude.
now, how long have you been held up?
I'll tell you what. I
In the house.
haven't been in a boat for over a month and a half. I haven't been on the water. I haven't been out of my house for a month and a half.
And I know this is Wisconsin and everything freezes over here, but I know you still go ice fishing. Was that the longest spell you've had in probably the last 10 years without catching a fish?
Oh, there
you go.
Means, unbelievable.
Largemouth right there.
Yeah, that's cool as can be. Hang on.
Check them out in the net there, guys. On that rattle trap. There you go. Hold them up for the camera there, Ken.
On the old trap.
The old trap.
Come on here, buddy.
And he made an adventure on us. Went under the back of the boat, went down to the heavy weed lines. There we go. Not a monster, but a fish to break the lull of being stuck at home healing.
For a month and a half.
That's awesome, man.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. Thank you.
Awesome.
What could you tell us about the rocket bobber?
Yeah, Cal, go ahead and break down the rocket bobber.
I can hit the trees real easy.
Yeah, little deal.
Crappie.
Crappie.
Yeah.
Sure as could be.
Crappie, the sailor, panfish.
Crappie on the old rocket bobber.
Nice.
Not a bad little crappie.
Nice little black crop. Yeah.
16th ounce jig, plastic.
And
Slip bobber.
You're on the slip bobber setup for the rocket bobber.
On a slip bobber setup. I'll tell you what, it's just
nice.
awesome. And using a 16th ounce jig, 2-inch Berkeley power tail. Bobber stop setup about probably 6 feet, 5 feet, and we're fishing in 8 feet, just above the weeds, just barely above the weeds, and not a bad little crappie.
Believe it or not, just got my first Wisconsin bluegill. Now, Ken, where are we, man? What is this? What is this chain of lakes called?
We're on the Rice Reservoir, and it's a chain of lakes. It's probably about 3,500 acres of water is what it is. The neat thing about this chain is that not only do we have clear water like this spring-fed lake, but we also have stained water.
Ah,
so
okay. And bob her down, you're on.
There we go. That's what we got.
Is he on there?
Oh, we lost him.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah. So and we've got like a lot of bluegills, crappies. You know, different perch, yellow perch, but then we've got a lot of muskies, pike, bass, walleye, smallmouth, and largemouth. So it's really a mixed bag. Just a great, great place to be fishing. You know, all of northern Wisconsin is like this, though.
Northern Wisconsin. You know, we're in Tomahawk, right?
Yes, just north of Tomahawk, in between Tomahawk and Minocqua.
Very cool. All right, guys. Here is the reveal of my first yellow perch. I'm following this trend of making sure my first species in Wisconsin are definitely not anywhere near keeper size, and I've kept it up with my very first yellow perch. I'll take it. All right, guys, so we're in from our earlier rocket bobber session. Caught a few small fish. Still been kind of tough, so we're out now with Ken's neighbor Jeff here, who said, yeah, I'll take him out fishing. And he's normally into the pan fishing scene, but I'm gonna throw some bigger baits and see what happens. And we're just gonna chuck around and maybe we can get something on this evening bite. So we'll see what happens. What do we got? Rattle trap, crappie. Look at that. Crappie on the rattle trap. What do you think about that, folks? Now I do it on jerk baits, and I've done it on traps at Clear Lake, but I've never done it at a trap in northern Wisconsin.
That's a nice gill.
Big gill? Big gilly? You got a big gill, Jeff?
Yeah, little gill.
Yeah, that's kind of a big gill.
Yeah, boy, you needed a net for that
Yeah,
sucker,
he's
huh?
kind of a big gill, man. Yeah, maybe not, okay? Sometimes you don't know. Hey, Jeff, they said the male mosquitoes can't get you, right?
They cannot.
Because these are fatties out here. That last one I smacked on my hand had a pair of nuts on them like a toddler. So apparently, one of the secret keys out here in Wisconsin is nighttime rattle trap crappie. It's a new trend. I'm going for setting out here. People haven't heard about it around here, but I'm a trendsetter, and this is just kind of just what I do, but just kidding. But look, pretty little crappie on that 1/4 ounce chrome and blue. When it's dark out, that chrome and blue shows a lot of flash from the moon, you know? So there you go, guys. Just playing. Thank you. All right, guys, we're out here. It's, I think, our third morning, or second or third morning. I'm getting them mixed up now, but we're out here. It's 4:30 in the morning, and Ken's buddy Bill likes to get up early and target some topwater bass or northerns or muskie or whatever's going to bite out here for us. So I'm going to try that 4-inch stutter step early this morning and see if we can get some luck. Yep, big smallie. Let me get the net for him too. Yeah. Oh, that's a big smallmouth. Big smallmouth. I'm holding one light with me. Oh my goodness, Bill. Yeah, go up here and get the smallie. Is that on spook?
It's on a chug bug.
Chug bug. Classic. Come on, show yourself.
Coming now.
There we go. Yeah.
You want it small? Is that big enough?
Look at that. Look at that smallmouth. Look at that smallmouth right there. Oh, that is a horse of a smallie. Go ahead and get your hands on it. You know,
That
Bill,
is a smallmouth.
I didn't expect a smallmouth like that. Here, Dad, hold this with one hand
Welcome
when
to
you get him
Tomahawk,
out there.
guys.
Yeah. Look at that. Dude, look at the girth on that smallie.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah.
I got the net.
Stutter step fish. Largemouth. Whoop, Ezo. Whoop. Did I get you? Oh, good. We're good.
Yeah, we got it.
Yep, short distance release, little SDR. Stutter step fish. Yeah. Largie. Nice largie. Nice stutter step largie. There you go, sir.
Nice job.
Yeah. All right. All right. Nice little largie on the stutter step. It's a great fish. Great fish for Wisconsin. Come from California largemouth. Some Wisconsin largies.
Not a nice fish.
Yeah, it is a nice fish for sure. He, Bill, this one had a stutter step on his mind. We definitely like the more subtle approach here. Beautiful fish. Look at the dig.
only got 8-pound test on here, so I set your drag leg.
Nice. Look at that. Look at that smallie. Oh, another beauty, man.
Welcome to Deer Lake. Welcome to Tomahawk. Tomahawk smallies.
Beauty, man. Woo.
Let's see what this one goes.
That's
We
key.
talked about how beautiful the sunrise is this morning or something.
You on all hands? Smallie. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. That's why we came over here. Bill said, I know the spot where if you get bit, it's going to be a smallie. Call that one. What was that? Is that 40 years of experience on this pond talking? Oh, now he's digging. Oh, he's coming around.
He's right under your tip.
Good.
There's a nice fish. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, man. Woo, that's
Nice
good
smallie.
one. That's
Good
a
and
good
healthy,
one.
nice and fat.
Yeah. When you watch a guy with this much experience on a lake,
And he leaves piers alone.
and he leaves a certain pier alone, if he puts an 80-foot gap between his last cast, he's leaving it open for you. That was a consideration move. This was definitely Bill's fish to be had, but beautiful
Bill
smallmouth.
has lots of opportunity.
Love it.
I left
I'll give you guys a little tip here. And you see us throwing the poppers on spinning outfits, when you start getting your lighter poppers and you need range, you get in this cleaner water up here in the north, and this lake's really clean water. The fish get very finicky. It was slick calm this morning. So the lighter popper, we can make a longer cast on a spinning rod easy. You don't always need a bait caster. I see a lot of people probably see me fishing bait casters with my poppers. Those are usually that over quarter-ounce style deal right there. The chug bug like this, my little quarter-ounce Ricos, you're gonna see me throwing them on a spinning rod often. You're not trying to horse them. Poppers got smaller treble hooks too, so you can get away with a spinning rod, some 8 to 10 pound mono or copolymer, you're good to go. On the MR6, it could just be buried in the weeds too, but we'll see. Feels like a decent fish.
Looks like it's thumping you pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, what is that? That's big. What in the world do I have? Is that a big northern?
Could be a dogfish. The way it's thumping. It is a dogfish.
That's a giant pike.
It is.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes!
I told you that
Yes!
color.
Bill,
Did I call
you
that
called
color?
man. Bill said, if you put on, here, I'm not sure if you can see me with the sun right there. If you put on the crawfish pattern and just throw it out here, those big northerns just roam around here and you might get one of those. That was probably 15 minutes ago. Oh man, I am posing with this.
That's a 40-inch northern.
Yes! Oh my gosh,
That's got
dude.
some girth to him.
On that MR6, man. I've only been throwing it for 15 minutes. Amazing.
If that.
If that, yeah, maybe less.
Maybe less.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, I am so pumped right now. My heart is just beating through my chest.
I'm pumped. And I didn't even catch it, just netting
Oh
it.
my
heart's
gosh.
throbbing.
Oh my
The
gosh.
top looked like a dogfish, and then
Yeah,
once I saw it turn,
I'm like,
I saw
I've
the
seen that
spots.
pattern. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I think that may be a big pike. So Bill, you said to lip this, just jam my thumb in there?
Yeah, and then you lose your thumb.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's good, Ken. I mean,
Yeah.
Bill.
Bill. She's wanting to swim. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Nicely done.
Yeah, Bill. Thank you very much,
What a
brother.
day we've had.
What a day we've had. Man. Big
Caught.
smallies, lost a giant
Good
largie.
fishing.
Big old pike, man. Amazing morning, man.
It's been a good day.
Yes. All right, guys, that's it for our morning session with Bill. Bill, man, I greatly appreciate you doing this for us.
My pleasure. I'm glad you caught a bunch of fish.
He put me on the fish of a lifetime over here, which is kind of unfair because I know a lot of people come and fish really hard to get those, and I got lucky from following solid tutelage right here, listening to what he was saying because I had no clue at all. People ask me pike questions all the time, and I'm like, I really can't answer. You're talking to the wrong guy. And to be able to come here and catch a couple little pike yesterday and then do that, man, was just, it's great. So once again, greatly appreciate it.
Been a guest meeting you and your father.
You ever come out to California, come have some fun, catch some stripers with us, and go catch some bass?
We can't wait.
Awesome.
So after having an absolute blast being out there with Bill, Ken's buddy Steve, also one of the guys behind the rocket bobber, asked me if I wanted to go out and swing for the fence for maybe one potential big muskie bite. I was all about that. We went out there. It was a beautiful night. We didn't get a single strike, but Steve taught me a heck of a lot about muskie and big northern fishing. I can't wait to get back there when Ken's feeling better and go out with him and Steve and hopefully stick one of those monsters soon.
Gone fishing in Ken's boat today. How's the Bill Dance theme? In case you didn't recognize that. All right, guys. Since all Ken's buddies are busy at the moment, we took Ken's older nitro out. And because I was throwing a rattle trap a couple nights ago and I showed you that big crappie, this is one of the smaller ones, but we're loading up the box. His friends are having a fish fry. So I said I'll catch a bunch of these black crappie, and I just slowed down with the grub after locating them on the trap. They were on a huge flat, so I had a good idea. So I came out, put the boat around the area, and was fan casting about 80 feet out, moved 80 feet, fan casted, and located them. Now I'm taking, every time I hook a crappie, I'm marking a waypoint on his graph, and I can reference right where the boat needs to go right back to, but that's how I'm dialing those in. Another big crop. Go for the boat flip. Yeah.
Shit, missed that.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Boat flipping now. So here's the deal, guys. I'm trying to think what type of it's like a coontail or something that's in their water over here. And even though we're on a super slow tapering flat, this thing's probably not even 45 degrees. It may be less. It could be like 25, 30 degree taper, just super slow. And there's grass and growth all over this. And the interesting part is when you're fan casting around and you catch crappie in the middle of a big giant flat like this, it can be a fantastic spot if you're aware of where you caught it. And a lot of people think you need to go mark the waypoint of where you caught that fish. And the reality is that's not what you want to do. You want to mark the spot your boat was when you made that cast. Because what's going on, it's the position that you brought it across that flat. There could be a little creek channel or a little weed line right through the middle of it, something unique that's holding those fish. So don't think you need to get on top of the fish and mark the spot. And right here, I already spun around in a circle and I didn't get bit 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna look back down on my graph, put the boat right back on that waypoint, and I guarantee I'm gonna start getting bit. Come. Yeah. Yep, there he comes. All right, guys, so. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So, you're probably noticing I have a rocket bobber dangling right here. I figured out the exact line that they're on. So, instead of doing repeat cast, now what I'm doing is I'm using the rocket bobber to hold that grub in place, and I'm just shaking it. I'm dancing the tip. If you watch my crappie how-to videos, it explains exactly what I'm doing. Just shaking that rod, it's just vibrating that grub down there, the tail's twitching, and they're coming up and smoking it. What in the world? Look at that, northern.
You got a northern.
Yeah. Look at that pike. Yeah. I'm like, that is not a crappie. Northern on the rocket bobber, baby. Look at that pretty fish, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We gotta jump. Oh yeah. I'll get it. Yeehaw. I'm like, either that's a giant crappie, or I got something different. I know everybody's like, it's just a pike, but being out in California, man, just a pike. It's something I've never caught, and I'm excited about it. And to be able to catch almost a 40-incher yesterday is just insane, man. I'm absolutely loving this trip out here. The people in Wisconsin are awesome, and the fishing is really cool. So even though this man is stuck having to be in the house, we drug him out on the pontoon. He re-hurt himself. His leg was blowing up like a balloon. He was trying to fight it, guys. The rocket bobber helped produce these big quality crappie. You've seen it time and time again. I finally got to come out and hang out with the man. Unfortunately, he had an accident, but we're going to come back next year. Have Ken put us on some big muskie, right?
Nick, I'm looking forward to it. I really feel sick.
I know this is tearing you up.
This is bad, but you know what? We'll do it again.
When I get to come hang out in your backyard, and it's the one time you don't get to fish, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
But look at those. Look at those big old crappie, man. Hey,
Cool.
thanks for having me out to Wisconsin, man.
I really appreciate you guys.
And your wife, Pam, thank you very much for helping us out with everything. That's it, guys. InformativeFisherman.com. And how can they find the rocket bobber online? And where do they purchase the rocket bobbers?
You can pick up the rocket bobbers anywhere from Walmart to Bass Pro, Cabela's, Fleet Farms. Go to BillLewis.com, Rattletrap.com.
You heard it, guys.
We'll pick them up there.
If you're not throwing the rocket bobber, I'm telling you, you're flat out missing out. Thanks for watching.
We were really avid fishermen. We were pan fishermen. We chased panfish. And the thing was, there was absolutely nothing on the market to do what we wanted it to do. So we would modify like everybody else. We'd get baits and change this and change that. We did the same thing with corks. We'd get foam corks. We'd load them with lead. We'd try to get them out there for the casting distance, but we couldn't quite get that sensitivity. And so we started playing with more weights, and eventually we pinned that down. So we married the two, sensitivity along with the casting distance. And I'll tell you what, that was the start of the rocket bobber. That was the basic reason behind it, because it simply wasn't on the market. There was a lot of good bobbers on the market. There was a lot of good floats, but the thing about it was they were all a single key feature specific. So one would give you some great casting distance, one would give you some really good sensitivity, one would be maybe a fixed bobber, one would be a slip float. But the thing was, nobody offered all the features in just one product, and that's what we were looking for. We were looking to take that, combine everything together into one product. The science behind the rocket bobber, the physics behind the rocket bobber are to the point that they're actually used by professors in the UW system, University of Wisconsin College system, to teach physics. And that was the whole process. We had to marry those two. We had to marry the casting distance and the sensitivity. And once we did that, we knew we had something. And we spent probably 2 to 3 weeks just on color. Because the fact is, this rocket bobber casts so far and set up as a, where you're using that lever arm action, it was really hard to actually see that stem come up. And so we spent 2 weeks just on color itself. And we figured out that finally a matte finish was the way to go. And we ended up with a yellow for the cloudy days and an orange for the sunny days, and that was the best visibility that we had found through all the colors that we did. It was just incredible. A lot of the other products on the market were not very durable, and that was one of our goals. You know, not only does it assist in the casting distance, we needed that extra weight, and besides the design inside it, but we wanted to be able to, a lot of the products were glued together. These two halves were glued together. What we wanted to do is we used a process, we used ABS, which is the same stuff that Coleman canoes are made out of, and then we actually sonic welded these bobbers. So I mean, they're very, very durable, and that was a go. I mean, we wanted something. If we're gonna make a product, we want that product to last. You know, we've got a rattle series that works out really well. There's so many features to the bobber. It's not only a fixed float, but you can use it as a slip float too with a bobber stop. And with the rattle series, it's incredible. You can set this thing up, you can use plastics, you can, similar to the Carolina rig, similar to the drop shotting, but now you can adjust your depths with just by simply moving a stop. And so it's very, very versatile. Rocket bobbers are available in 3 sizes. They come in a game fish, 6 1/4, then they come into a panfish, which is 4 3/4, and then they come into the ultralight size, 3 3/4. Now the thing about it is, quite frankly, besides in the slip bobber mode, the 6 1/4 will hold a heavier weight, you know, than the 3 3/4 inch. The fact is, they all have the same sensitivity, you know, but it's real hard to comprehend that, because you see this big 6 1/4 inch thing and you're saying, okay, well that fish is going to have to pull this so hard. you know, to pull this versus I want the same concept with a smaller bobber. That's what everybody want to do, and that's why we actually downsized. But we really never had to have come off that 6 1/4 inch. Yeah, and not only do we have the different sizes like that, we also have a glow series. And the thing about the glow series is it's just about literally impossible in clear water for these fish to see that glow series sitting up there. Most people traditionally think about bobbers and they think about the cork standing up like this. And in all reality, the rocket bobber, what we have is we have a lever arm action. So in other words, you cast this thing out, all right, and the bobber's designed to lay flat with a lightweight presentation, hook and worm, a 32nd ounce jig or smaller, live bait, plastic, it doesn't matter. That bobber's going to lay flat. And as soon as that fish starts to inhale that bait, that bobber's going to start to stand up. That's when you can set the hook. You don't have to wait until it's all the way up like a traditional bobber would be and go down. All you have to do is let it start to stand up, you can set the hook. Besides being a fixed lock-on, lay flat type of bobber, it also has a slip bobber feature. And that bobber is designed now to stand vertical. With the 6 1/4 inch, you can go up to a 1/4 ounce weight on that where you're going to be vertical. You know, and I'm talking about using a bobber stop or even a lock-on that way, but it's still going to stand vertical. You go into the panfish, you go into a 16th ounce, which is just an incredible presentation. And then with the mini ultralight, you can go a 16th ounce also, which is going to sit a little bit lower. But the thing about it is, that's neutral buoyancy. What we worked on was neutral buoyancy. So that fish, basically, as soon as he sucks the bait in and starts to drop, that bobber is going down already. It's just incredible. Sensitivity is beyond belief, but now in a vertical position. Crappies are notorious for the upbite. And so what is really cool about this bobber is when that crappie comes up and grabs that bait, that bobber is going to start to lay flat like that. You set the hook. That's the time to set the hook. That is a crappie 100% of the time. It is a crappie. You set the hook. And this bobber, I mean, very few bobbers detect the upbite. And a lot of people don't realize about the upbite, so they don't get the fish. The fact is that as soon as you see that bobber start to lay down, set the hook.
Is Brett Favre the greatest thing to ever happen to football?
You know, the funniest thing about Brett Favre, in my eyes, I say it's awesome. It's awesome, absolutely. He was a Packer. I mean, he was a Packer for a lot of years. You know, granted, everybody's with Aaron Rodgers, and, you know, Peyton Manning was this, all these. But no, Favre, what a tough bird. I'll tell you, the guy, Mississippi boy, incredible. Yes, he is. He's our guy.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us, Ken.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Thanks a lot.